Hi everybody, Shelby with the Soap Brew House here, and today I'm going to be making my modern version of soap on a rope. Basically, these I call soap shooters. And I'm just going to kind of do the tutorial first, and then I'm going to make them, because I'm afraid if I start making them and telling you what's going in them at the same time that I'm going to forget and leave something out. So let me tell you what I'm doing. So basically I'm using the Brambleberry 25 cube mold. However, I don't need this many cubes. This recipe is going to call for 10. So it's going to make 10 cube soap on a ropes. And it's going to be, just in case any of you out there want to make it, and you want to fill 10 cubes, or you figure out how many you want to make from there. This oil recipe is 38 ounces. So it's 2 1/3 pound of oils. And then once you batch it out through the lye calculator, you end up with anywhere between 10 to 12 ounces of fluid, including, no, not including the lye. So you'll have about, total weight will be about 48 ounce batch, okay? And that'll fill 10 of these, okay? So if that kind of helps gauge for you, if you want to make them too. Anyway, let me show you what I got here. I'm going to be working with my little cords here. Let me get one of these. Now, while I was waiting for the lye water and the oils to cool down a little bit, I made my cords. This is a total of 18 inches, obviously folded in half, knotted at the end. You can see how I knotted it, okay? This cord is 3 millimeter cotton macrame cord that I purchased from Michael's Crafts. So you see it comes in a spool. The manufacturer, well, it's from Michael's Crafts, but it's called Bead Landing. And like I said, it's the 3 millimeter macrame cord. On a personal note, I used the 50% off coupon for this whole thing. So altogether, I paid with tax. It ends up being 5 cents for me per 18-inch piece. So additional 5 cents per bar of soap cost, unit cost. So that's where we're at. And like I said, this cotton macrame cord, 3 millimeter from Michael's Crafts, if you're interested in knowing the cord I use. Okay, that's why I'm telling you this stuff ahead of time, because I'm going to forget, and then you're going to message me and go, what kind of cord is that? So anyway, I'm telling you ahead of time. I'm going to be using Nature's Gardens Blueberry Cheesecake fragrance oil. This does discolor, so I will be doing splitting the batch and doing it in the pot swirl so I can get some blue in there. Okay, the blue I'm going to be using is Brambleberry's 1982 blue mica. Yeah, and the mica, it's actually a combination of ultramarine blue with mica, but the color doesn't change, and it stays a nice pretty blue, and so I like this blue from them. So 1982 blue. All right, and let's see, my oils are ready. I put in a few ounces. I split the liquid batch, and so I've got some of my fluids in with the lye, and I put in about 3 ounces or so of coconut milk. I decided to do that instead of putting in a beer. So anyway, away we go. Put in my lye water here. And I did put some sodium lactate in with that lye water, so hopefully these little guys can pop out fairly effortlessly of the mold for me tomorrow. Let me give this a whirl. I'm going to put you people on hold for a second. You don't need to see me spin. Okay, I'm back again. Let me stabilize the camera. Fabulous. I mixed this up, got that blended in. Trace is super, super light, which is how I want it. This all together in this Pyrex is 6 cups of fluid. So if that helps you out as well, figure out doing a recipe if you want to make a soap on a rope like mine. Now I like the size of the length of the rope that I use because I think it comes out just right. And I'm splitting it just about even here. You know, it's a modern version of a soap on a rope, something you're just going to put around your hand to use, and I'll show you that at the end once I get everything in the mold. I've got one over here. I'll show to you. Okay. All right, let's split. Where am I at here? Let me take a look at this. Let me do just a hair more in here, just a hair more. So the scented portion is going to be about probably kind of a medium brown and then mixed in with the blue. It actually looks very cool, very rustic, and if you let it get just a little bit of ash, it looks really neat. But I still will cover it because I definitely don't want too much ash. I don't want a solid layer, just a little, maybe just a little something, makes it look kind of aged, you know, just really cool and rustic. Anyway, let's get some color in here. Let's do it in this one. Hopefully I mixed enough blue with some of the oils here. I don't have to go back and add more, but we'll see. Nope, I need to add more. It looks kind of gray. That's all right. I've got time to play with this a little bit here, so let me grab some oil out of here. There we go. Get some more color. That should do it. And if you get enough color in here, it won't look gray. And then you don't, this color I like I said, it doesn't morph. I don't have a problem with it. It's just getting enough in there. I want it to look like a fresh blueberry, not a smushed one. Get some of this blue out. Well, we'll work on the spoon. All right, let's try that again. We're getting there. We're getting there. As you can see, we're starting to get a blue. I'm going to do a little bit more though. So, same thing as before. I'm going to scoop a little oil. Wipe my spoon a little bit here. There we go. Now I suppose if you want, you could just put the powder directly in with the master batch right here. However, I don't know if I'm going to end up with some weird clumps somewhere, so I do this first to smash them down, which I think is what most other soapers do as well. So, okay, there we go. Let's see if we can get that spoon. My biggest fear is I'm going to slip with my left hand and I'm going to drop the whole tiny bowl into this big bowl of batch. Wouldn't that be not fun? Ooh, we're getting a pretty blue now. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, alright, that did the trick. See, I don't make these too often, so I forget how much color I put in. Purple's the same way. You got to do a lot in order to get the color to come through true, you know? Alright, let's get rid of that. Alright, great. Let's give that a little whirl. Actually, let's hold off on that because I still have to whirl this with my color and I don't want a contamination between the two colors. At least not yet. Not that it's going to be a much to make a difference. Okay, another thing I like about blueberry cheesecake from Nature's Garden is it doesn't accelerate, so it's really nice to work with. Put all that in there. And I noticed too, and my customers say that this scent really lasts a long time. You know, some of those fruity scents, they fade out after a period of time. If you put, you know, enough in there, which basically I do, you know, 2 ounces fragrance for this whole thing, I don't have a problem with the scent fading out. So I really appreciate that. Now, of course, when I first make it, it's just going to look like blue and cream or yellowy cream. But over time, like I said, as it cures, it's going to get more of a medium brown, so it's going to look really cool. But if you want to see what the finished product looks like, just go back to the beginning of the video and look at the thumbnail picture with the header on it, and that's what they look like. I'm currently all sold out, so I have nothing to show you of those particular blueberry ones. Now my cream is already kind of at almost a medium trace. I got a light trace on the blue one. I kind of want a medium trace on both of them because I want to be able to do the in the pot swirl and not have them so liquid that they're actually blending together. I want to sort of keep the colors separate as it's pouring, but not clumpy. Sometimes by the time you get to the 10th one, it's already starting to get kind of clumpy, and so you don't want to. There, I think we're ready to go. Tap that out. Okay. I have a very limited counter space here, so bear with me. I first saw the In the Pot swirl from Clyde Yoshida, the owner of Vibrant Soaps. And definitely the trick of the In the Pot swirl is not to go crazy and overstir it. You have to discipline yourself to literally just do like 1, 2, and that's it. Walk away. Don't touch it. So we're going to see if we can have that same discipline. 1, 2. That's it. No more. Because you're like, oh, let me just do one more. No. Walk away. Walk away. Okay. Get some stuff out of the way here. Let's get our mold. Okay. Try to keep space so you can see what I'm doing here. And we just pour. Like I said, this should fill 10 of them. I don't do to the tippy top, and that's because I still got to put the cord in. Last thing I need is to be pushing the cord in, which is going to raise up the level of the soap batter. Whoops, I'm spilling. And then I got it tipping over the edge. It's messy enough as it is. Oh, I need one of those real fine funnel pour things, but I hate working with plastic. It's so hard cleaning up with the oils. So I try to work with glass when I can, except for the lye water. Then I use my plastic. It's starting to get a little clumpy, like I said. We can oh, let me put a little more in this one. A little bit more in that one. Okay, that's 8. Oh, get in there. Okay, now I gotta switch hands so I can do my scooping hand. First I go back and try to get these a little even. And I really like this mold. It's not flimsy at all. You know, it's 40 bucks for the 25 cube mold. Definitely an investment. It's probably the most I've ever spent on a mold, for sure. I usually make my own molds because they're so stinking costly. But this one I couldn't make, and I really liked it. I thought it would be a good investment. You know, definitely getting the 25 mold, because there's occasions where I'm making a lot of these things and I can do, you know, I can do a couple of different scents in the same mold, and that's pretty cool. Okay. Ooh, making a mess here. Now these are still just a hair too liquid. They're not ready for, whoops, I'm splashing. That's why I got an apron on. They're not ready for the rope, or the rope is going to collapse and fall over. So they need to be a little firmer, but they were ready for pouring. And I got them all pretty even and everything. Get my little dowel to get some little bubbles on the top. There we go. And we're going to let this sit for a minute, but if you can kind of see, you can see some of the swirling and everything, and just imagine the cream portions that you see are going to be more brown. It's going to look really cool. Anyway, I'm going to have you guys hold for a second. We're going to let it set up more, and then we're going to put the ropes in. Okay, here we're back again. Probably about a good 10 minutes has gone by, and these have set up a little bit, but not too much. Anyway, so I've got my 10 ropes here. Like I said, 18 inches folded in half and knotted. That's how I do it. And so I kind of bend them a little bit, so they're kind of like that. And then I insert them right in the center. And I try to do it where they're not going to be touching each other. So right in the middle. I kind of push them in, and I wiggle them just a little bit so the soap kind of, it doesn't leave like a little air pocket around the rope in the soap. It's all touching. And a little wiggle. Hope I'm not blocking my own camera so you can see this. A little wiggle. There we go. Now, a friend of mine really likes these blueberry soap on a ropes. It's just easy for him to just have a little rope attachment to it. And what he tells me is he was afraid at first that at some point during using the soap that the soap was gonna detach from the rope portion. And he said that soap got down to the littlest sliver and the rope was still attached. And I said, okay, well, that's good to know. So the care that I take into, oops, that one's slightly off, into placing these things in here, and probably also help using a cotton cord, because I think the cotton is absorbing a little bit of the liquid, and so it helps adhere it in there. So I'll stick with using a cotton cord. There we go. 2 more to go. Try to get it 90 degree. Awesome. 1 more. Fantastic. All right. Now these will not go into the fridge. I can't fit this giant thing in my refrigerator, but in order to keep the top from getting too ashy where I don't have to wash it later on in a couple weeks or so, once the ropes are completely set in and the soap is set, then I'll gently cover it with a couple of towels overnight and put it to bed. It's not going in the oven, nothing like that, okay? Now, here it is. Here's the final product. This is one that I made with Boston Tea Party by Nature's Garden, and a little bit of green, and I think I put in like green tea powder or something. Anyway, it has a nice smell. But there's the rope, nice and sturdy, and it's to go around your hand, you know, so you bathe, and, you know, it's a modern version. And I just do a little tag. That's how I wrap it for a wholesale account. What I did is she wanted me to completely cover it with a shrink wrap thing, a sleeve, and I had a 4x6 one that fit just fine. It just didn't cover the top, which was fine because that way the customer could smell. But I prefer to leave them naked like this with the tag. And the customers don't seem to mind. They don't think it's unsanitary this way, even though I wrap all my other soaps. And you're maybe thinking this makes a smaller soap because it's a cube. It does not. This weighed out minus, you know, the tag. This is 4.8 ounces. That's a good sized bar of soap. So I don't use the word mini or anything like that. I tell people this is a full bar of soap. It's just a different shape. And so there you have it. There's my blueberry soap shooters, my soap on a rope, modern version with a hand rope. I really like them. My customers like them, and there's something fun and different. Thank you for watching. Please follow me on Instagram and follow my YouTube channel if you've enjoyed this one. You know, follow me on all social media. I've got, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't tweet that much, so I don't have time for all that. Anyway, thank you for watching. There I am, and you have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.